In the year of our Lord 2025, it seems as if people are calling this time to be the golden age of independent animation, with the likes of The Amazing Digital Circus, Murder Drones, Lackadaisy, and unfortunately, Hell of a Boss becoming extremely popular in the last couple of years. And I have been there to witness them all. Well, except for Hell of a Boss, but come on, I wasn't missing much. But I believe that there is one little show that has gone painfully under the radar, and I believe it should have gotten much more attention than it's received. And I've wanted to make a video on this animation for a while now, but I've never managed to find the time to make it, until now. And that is a little pilot called Paingirl. Released on October 15th, 2024 by animator Cray? I don't know how you say it, but Paingirl is about a psychotic girl called Penny who's possessed by a demon and wreaks havoc in the city of Killsville with Teehee. They kill a bunch of cops and they land themselves in jail. Pretty simple plot. But all of the characters are unique, varied, and lead to pretty much endless gag possibilities. Penny is very simple character-wise, basically having that I look cute but I'm actually a horrific killing machine thing going on. It's basic, but she does that thing extremely well, not to mention the amazing voice acting to accompany her, but I'll get into that in a moment. There's also Cax, the said demon who possesses her. And even though I personally find him to be the least interesting, he still manages to squeeze a laugh out of me many times. Teehee serves as a great contrast to Penny and allows for excellent moments between them, both character and joke-wise. And the show is also littered with little one-off characters like Penny's mom, who is a smash by the way, the news reporter, and this cop, whose entire personality is the fact that he's voiced by Senyo Palo. Oh yeah, I should probably get into the voice acting, shouldn't I? You know how when you're watching a movie with your parents or relatives, they'll always suddenly point at the screen and say, "I know that guy," whenever they see an actor they recognize? Well, for me, it was like that when I was watching Paingirl, but instead of actual actors, it's indie animation voice actors. Just to name a few, Penny is voiced by Lizzie Freeman, the voice actor for Pomni in The Amazing Digital Circus. Cax is voiced by Michael Kovac, I don't think I need to explain this one. Teehee is voiced by Amanda Hufford, who voices Ragatha, again in Digital Circus, as well as the newsfolk being voiced by Alex Rochan, the voice of Kane, again in Digital Circus. And of course, there's the Palo Cop, who of course is amazing because it's Palo. And as well as this, the idea of the show is creative and fun, as well as not being afraid to show gory details or stray into dark territory with the humour, but never leans too far into it to the point where it's the entire identity of the show. If I had to give any complaints about the show, it would be that the actual story itself isn't really dwelling on anything, like, at all. We aren't really given a reason to why we should care about Penny or any of the characters present here, and the plot itself is really bare bones and can kind of just be summed up with two demon children beat up police officers in an ice cream parlor. But in my opinion, that kind of works in its favor. I mean, the episode is only 9 minutes long, and it doesn't really feel like it needs to dwell on things like character backstories or personal character-driven moments. This is a comedy after all, and asking why we should care about the protagonist in a comedy is like asking why we should care about Peter Griffin. Why? Because it's funny, damn it. But a little more character-driven sections and world building would be nice, considering this is more of a plot-driven show. Not much, but a little more would be nice. The jokes are probably one of my favourite things about this show. Around 75% of the jokes made me audibly laugh or snort at. Even in every rewatch, I'll still giggle at something, even when I know what the jokes are, which is something that really hasn't happened to me with most recent indie animation. The animation is super charming, and, as far as I know, was entirely done by just one person, which was Cray himself. And as much as I respect him for doing it entirely on his own, it just makes me wonder how much we're gonna have to wait before we get more Paingirl content, if Cray is sticking to animating it entirely himself. But the animation itself is incredibly eye-catching and stylized, with the constant brush changing of the characters being something I particularly like. The music is also very well done, being very in sync with the goings on in the animation and just generally being great. The theme song especially being a highlight. Please release it on Spotify. Another one of my small problems with it was the fact that the sound effects are slightly off sync with the action. The delay isn't terrible or anything, but it's quite noticeable. But that's really just a minor complaint that can be easily fixed in later episodes. Overall, Paingirl is a truly excellent pilot that sets up episodes brilliantly, and has truly sold me. Literally, I bought the plush, and you should too. Whilst it's not quite there in terms of story, that doesn't really matter too much in something like this. A goofy show which is incredibly charming, funny, and well animated, which I highly request you to watch. It's amazing, it's peak, it's Paingirl. Someone better call it Peak Girl.